Hello and welcome to Pushback with Chris Gergen on this Tuesday, April 13th. I am still in Nashville, so I'm broadcasting from the Hilton Hotel right over by the airport. I'm flying back home to Las Vegas tomorrow to see my beautiful wife and my family and to get back to the land that I love. So tonight we've got a great show. You know, as we've all gone through this big COVID nightmare, it has brought out tyrants and petty tyrants, and it has made tyrants of the health departments and police departments and these different things. And you know, my wife and I have a lot of discussions about these subjects because of her history and where she's come from, and the socialism and communism and dictatorships that she has dealt with in her life on a very real level in the streets, fighting against these tyrants. And she has made it her life's mission to fight against these types of people, really anywhere that they pop up. And one of the things is that these people are consistently violating people's, not only their constitutional rights, but their human rights. And when I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about on the show today with you, this idea of human rights and constitutional rights just kind of kept playing in my mind. And so I thought, who better than to interview tonight than my beautiful wife, Eva Sara Landau. So now I'm just gonna warn you, I have never actually interviewed my wife before. Okay, now she and I have, she basically, when we argue, like, she argues and I listen. That's usually how that works. So this may be an interview where, like, she does most of the talking and I do most of the listening, which is fine because she has a lot of amazing things to say. She has just started a new organization called the Global Human Rights League. And it's literally brand new. So that is another thing that we have been working on. And she's about to go out to Washington, D.C. and meet with some of the folks out there. That's another thing that we're going to be discussing tonight. So without further ado, I know you all don't want to listen to me talk. You want to listen to my beautiful wife talk. So I'm going to bring her on.
Hello,
Hello, beautiful wife.
Hi, how you doing today? Missing you at home here, huh?
I'm missing you too. So it's good to see you, even though it's on a show. And this is something that is you and I talk a lot about this stuff when we're just by ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to lay out for the folks before we get into this. You've got the basic human rights, and then above that is constitutional rights.
Mm-hmm.
And these dictators and these tyrants in Canada, in the United States, Central America, South America, they have begun just going right through constitutional rights, completely violating those and violating the most fundamental human rights of citizens. So, from your perspective and your history, what are some of the things that are big, alarming signs that very bad things are coming our way here in not only Washington State but also in the United States?
Well, while you was talking, I was hearing to you behind, and you was talking and was about the video that we watched together. Well, I sent it to you about 200 polices, 200 persons, people going to a church to violate the human right. Right. And first of all, so people can understand what really what the human rights protect, what is something that is the most important or have to be the platform for them or have to be the foundation for the human rights is the freedom, life, and property. So they violate the freedom, they violate the property, two of the three of them. And that is impossible. You're not supposed to violate one of that ones. And I understand that sometimes because authorities are turning very dictatorships, so they violate whatever they want. but they cannot violate the human rights. And one of the reasons that we talk about create an organization, a foundation to protect the human rights is because most of the foundations are protecting most of the time just the left side. They worry about what's the next gender that we have to be protecting.
Right.
What's the next right we're gonna give to the women to keep or have more power to kill their own kids?
Right.
What that kind of stupidities. Oh, or or they and just when then they start as a human right or human right in the worldwide human right. Then they start talking about what about if we protect more, and we see this, protect more animals than humans, putting the humans as a second things.
Right.
And
Protect
people
the
have
whales, protect the snails,
yes, and
protect
people have
the,
to understand
you know,
that conservative people as me, as you, and as most of the people who live in this country, oh, we are humans. We are no aliens. We are no animals. Irrational well, if you want to
rational.
be Darwinist, okay, we are no irrational animals. We are rational animals. If you want to put it that way, let's give some favors to them. We are human, guys. And there is no organizations that really advocate for the human rights from people who don't want to follow dictatorships.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've been I born in Bolivia. I see very close what happened in Venezuela, in Cuba. I have to take even doctors, people who do medicine, Cubans from Africa, from Spain, so many years ago, more than 15 years ago, because they don't have a human right. They are property from the government, from Fidel Castro, and they send to our countries, and the countries, the taxpayers pay like $1,000 per doctor, $600 per doctor in South America is a very good salary, but they only receive $6 per month, $20 per month in Cuba, $6 in Venezuela, and $20 per month in Cuba. And when they need to get a pair of shoes, the pair of shoes costs $40, $50, $60.
Right.
In black market. So really, that's what we want. And when you see that happening in the United States, really, really scare you because people is not noticing. But this ideology is getting inside in our house. And thanks God, there is people who knows the right, and the people who knows the right, there is not an authority that's gonna violate that. These people in the church, there is second church that we see them say, "Get out from my property, get out, get out," and that's what the people have to do. Stand up and do it.
Yeah, that's something that Lauren talked about on his show last week, and actually played the clip for the folks at home about that pastor, telling these people to get out. Now that happened in Canada. This video that you sent me, I want to get back to that because that was really, when I watched that video, it was really alarming. It was really alarming. I wish I had the video to play for the folks, but it was, I'll just describe it for the folks at home watching. So there's about 200 police officers that come to a church, and all these people are doing is just having church and worshiping. Now, regardless of what
I can share the screen with you if you want.
Oh, you have the video? Okay. Can you share it? Because I think that would be good for the folks to.
Don't share it yet because I'm gonna set up here so everybody can see in a big. Yeah, it's very important that people see it because sometimes we looks like oh my God. But okay, so it's here, and anytime you want, you can display with, and we can share with the people.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this. There we go.
There we go. So I handle from here, and people can see it.
There's no audio.
It's no audio?
No.
Okay. Hold on. Okay, I kicked that, and I'm gonna try to do it again.
Okay.
200.
So if we don't have audio this next time, what we're going to do is we'll just describe it. There we go.
I work for advisors and stuff. Now the shock troops are coming.
This is Canada, ladies and gentlemen.
They have gas masks, so they're getting ready for pepper spray.
Need protection from churches.
200 cops now.
Communists and Nazis need
One
to be
church,
protected
200
from
cops,
churches.
helicopters.
You're on the wrong side. The police.
So we're at close to 200 cops now. Gas masks,
they work for the
visors and stuff. Gas
What did I
masks
tell my
for
daughter tonight?
gas.
That the police are here to
200
protect her from this
cops.
book.
And a
That
helicopter.
men in uniform that she's supposed
40
to
vehicles
are
for
here
one
to
church.
protect
40
her from the
vehicles. 40 vehicles. So that's terrible.
That's unbelievable. And that, ladies and gentlemen, when I saw that video, my wife sent it to me the other day, and that's really alarming. And the only thing these people were doing wrong, these were not like David Koresh and the Branch Davidians. There weren't, these weren't like cult members. Like, these people are like Lutherans, right? I mean, they're like, they're just Protestant, Christians. But it doesn't matter what denomination. They could have been Buddhist, right? They could have been Hindu. They could have been Jews. They could have been Catholics. They could have been anything. It doesn't make a difference. These are fundamental rights. These are fundamental human rights that are being violated. This is in North America, ladies and gentlemen. This is not over in Europe. This is not, far away in South America. This is not in Russia. This is not in China. This is in Canada. Canada is the Diet Coke of America, right? It is, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't think that this can come to the United States, you're wrong. And I think that the most alarming thing is how many police officers knowingly received these orders, nodded their head, and looked around and thought, yeah, this is an amazing idea. Let's just go down there like the Gestapo and let's just shut down a church because we were ordered to. So if you think that the police officers, ladies and gentlemen, and the National Guard are going to refuse the orders of a governor or of a president or of a sheriff, that they're just going to say, no, we're not doing that, you are wrong. You have too much faith in your fellow citizens. You just do. Because at the end of the day, these people get a paycheck. And what happens is that they have to choose a side. Either you can get paid and go down and shut that church down, or you can get fired, and now you're on the wrong side of the law. Now you're out. So that's my little rant on that. And that was really disturbing. And now I know that you dealt with, sweetheart, I know you dealt with the police in Bolivia when Evo Morales took over. And how did they behave? How did they respond to that situation?
Well, for example, in personal, one time that I have to me, and I only 5.3 inches, right? 5.3. And
small with a lot of power.
And one time they called me and they said, you gotta leave this place because we hear that it's an order to, they have to take you. They have to take you. And I said, oh, no, I'm not going because I have to see the dictator and I have to let him know that what he's doing is wrong. No, then they're gonna take you. It's okay. So what you do in that moment, and I want to teach this to the people. Sadly, now the media's work for the other side, no, not exactly for the people, just for particular interests, for the people who pay the propaganda, the minutes, the seconds, and whatever. So, but before 15 years ago, in Bolivia, there is, I don't want to leave, but I said to one of the medias, that was the president, actually, from all the medias in that moment, from all the channels, like the president of the union, put it that way, of the journalists. So he said, please, you have to cover me. You have to be very close. There is an order that they're going to catch me. And okay, but I don't want to move. Why you don't leave? I don't want to move. I got my rights. I have to defend my rights to be protesting in peaceful. So I stay there. I just remember like a 4 or 6 police, the green things, the green people in green clothes. They hand me all my arms and they try to get me. And I see the camera coming like that, just in front of me, a big camera, the journalist. And that moment they let me go because they're scared to show how much they abuse of the people.
Right.
So they let me go, and I got a friend that is super, super skinny too, and they took him and pulled him. He gave me from the waist and pulled me, and they take him. They get revenge on him. He was with a cigarette. He was with the two hands like that. And when they put microphone to interview to him, I remember him, like flying, because the guy has, pulling him. And when the journalists come to put the microphone, while they was getting him, they cover his mouth with a cigarette. They cover his mouth. And he just got, and I have to be in outside of the jail all the night until I see my good friends out of jail, because that's something that we have to do too, protect ourselves. If somebody is getting in jail, everybody have to go outside and protest until the good things happen. That it's not because we want to, it's because it's the law. It's because it's a right to protect, to protest and let the people know what we think, and let the people, and what happened 15 years after. Now, Bolivia is very well known that we are under a dictatorship. But 15 years ago, we was few persons. And that's what I feel here in the United States. We still being few. Another one happened that you have to live 15 years with a lot of persecution, with a lot of people running away from the country. They said that Donald Trump gonna bring here a dictatorship, and the people was living. This. We're living. If he won't, we're living, because that's what. Okay, we're still waiting. They never left. Left because the desire they got that Mr. Trump's turn in a dictator. They even compared him with Chavez. I remember that, and I laugh about it, because that was ridiculous. Because people here repeat what the bad people said, but they don't really know what's the attitude, what's the background of Chavez, of Evo Morales, of Fidel Castro. So it's easy to say, oh, they look like them, or in other cases, oh, there was so good. So I hope the people who love that ideology and the ways they live, or they make live their people, I believe they're more than welcome to Venezuela, Cuba, or whatever. When the dictator of Bolivia, Evo Morales, has to escape, he didn't escape to Cuba. He didn't escape to Venezuela, the countries they love and they put us as example. No, he went to Mexico, because in Mexico he was very well protected by the narco cartels. But in a free country, why he don't go to Venezuela? Because they don't have nothing to eat over there. Right. Wow, he gonna get his own pet. So when he be hungry, kill it and eat it, because that's what the people is doing in Venezuela.
Well, and people think that
caviar socialist.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I was about to say that.
Caviar socialist.
Yeah. None of these people actually believe the bullshit that they say. And I've said that time and again on this show. The latest example is this BLM lady, the co-founder. I don't know if you've seen this in the news. It's been all over the news. The co-founder of BLM. She's bought over $2 million of real estate. And she just bought a $1.4 million spot, which is, that's not bad, I guess. And, now $2 million since 2016, over $2 million of real estate. These people don't believe the bullshit that they say. And let me give you an example. Barack Obama just, bought a $30 million mansion right near the water. Well, they're busy running around saying that, the tides are going to rise and the ocean's going to wash away. And well, if that's true, why did he take a 30-year mortgage on a house right there on the water? If Miami's going to be underwater, why are all these liberals coming from New York buying up oceanfront property? If white men are so bad, now listen, ladies and gentlemen, I have to defend white men because I am one. If white men are so bad, why is AOC dating a white man? Why is Omar Ilhan dating or married to a white man? Why are all of these liberal wackadoodles that are vilifying white America? Why are they all dating and or married to white people? It's because they don't believe the bullshit that they say.
The guy from CNN. And I'm gonna say the black guy from CNN because he's black. He's not white. I'm brown.
Don Lemon.
You know,
Don Lemon.
his boyfriend is white.
Right. Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
But white men are the problem.
And another thing, this lady from Black Lives Matter, then first of all, they steal the money from the foundation or organization from the people, because there is good people believing that is probably a good reason to be protecting the Black people, because whatever. But she not only get a house from 1.4, that God bless her. You know, I'm not a jealous person. I want everybody to have that. I love it. But this is the thing. They hate so much the white people than the neighbor where she's living now, or the city where she's living. Actually, the city is 1.6% of Black population. Right. So why she don't go to live in a Black community? Because she hates whites, right?
Why didn't she move to Baltimore? Why didn't she move to Detroit? Why didn't she move down to Chicago, where they're shooting 20 African Americans every weekend?
And she's going to be close to protect their own people.
Why didn't she move to New Orleans, where they have abject poverty in New Orleans amongst the Black community? Why didn't she move to inner city Atlanta, like down by College Park? Why didn't she move down there? There's plenty of places down there. You know, I mean, because the thing is that they don't believe what they say.
Yeah.
They don't believe what they say. It's all narrative. It's all bullshit. This is all about power and control. Yep. That's what this is about. And it's about, and in the process of the pursuit of power and control, inevitably you're going to trample on other people's constitutional rights, but more importantly, their human rights. You're going to be going out to Washington, D.C. Here, I think next week. Can you talk a little bit about what you're going to be doing out there and what is kind of going on with the whole human rights and everything going on in Central and South America?
In 2019, and I saw some in Instagram's conservative account, an American conservative account, showing how they catch the dictatorship right now, the government. I hate to call them the government, because when you are a governor, you govern for the people, but these are not governors. They are just dictatorship, you know? Right. And so people can understand better that in 2019 was a big fraud in Bolivia, enormous fraud.
Just like here in 2020.
Exactly like here. Exactly same machines, dominion, Smartmatic, same people, same training, same everything, same technology. Everything. Is a franchise. People have to understand that these are a franchise, you know? So you go with the machines and said, hey, you know what? You're running, right? Do you want to win? Yeah, sure. We got a package for you. We got the poll, the result, and these kind of up and down numbers. Would you like it? Yeah, how much is whatever the money is, whatever the cost is? Okay, I buy it. That's all you have to do as a candidate now. That's what Mr. Fraud, and I call Mr. Fraud into Mr. Biden. That's what he did. Or that's what the party did. They just bought an election to win. You know, it's not like they really are clean and doing a nice competition. It's like when you are, I don't want to train in a racing because I'm using steroid. It's exactly like that. Nobody is competing from the same side and go forward to see who's the best. They don't do that. So that happened in Bolivia. This guy has to escape from Bolivia because he being caught as a cheating guy, you know, with a fraud. So was a time, we have 1 year for transition government, you know, by the constitutional transition presidency. That's what we got. Well, the lady, the president, and then by constitution has to be in the transit of the time.
Right. Janine
Áñez, she decided to don't sue the fraud, to don't do anything against the criminal unknowingly because they made fraud. He got cases of pedophilia. He got cases of narco traffic. He got ties with Hezbollah. He got ties with all the cartel of drugs in the world. No, she decided to be nice and quiet because, of course, she's scared that they do something to her family. So she's not assuming really the leadership she got in her hand. And she decided to run as a candidate when that wasn't her job. Her job was to give transparency and democracy to the country. No, she decided to run under their rules. Well, in the end, she saw that in the polls, she wasn't going up, even if she paid to some polls to do it. She been caught too in something of corruption. She did a big cases of corruption. So she lost. She decided to stop running. And now the dictatorship, the guys who tried to make fraud in 2019, they come back. But they not only come back to another fraudulent election, they came with thirsty of revenge. You know what I mean? So now they are catching every single person who fight on the street for Evo Morales leave the country, jump leaders, parliamentarians. She's in jail right now.
Jeanine Áñez is in jail.
Jeanine Áñez is in jail right now.
Yep. Former president.
Former president. And there is something under the Constitution. She needs to have a case for corruption and do the process, a legal process. And now we go to this. So what they're doing is violating her human rights, putting in jail. Nobody can visit her. Their family cannot see her. She's extremely sick, and they don't want to let her go to her own doctor because whatever reason they got, they say that she's single or divorced, and that's why she can escape from the country. That's why she needs to be in jail for don't give her the chance to escape. So now you see that they are violating her life, So human rights are not working for her. And the CIDH is the International Court for Human Rights. I don't know how it's done in English. They deny to put as a precedent to take care of her. They deny human rights. Deny to protect her human rights. Why? Because once time she said, I am from the right, and what's the matter if I'm from the right? That's not bad. If I'm from the right and I'm not a theft, so what's the problem? So she has the sin to say she was from the right. So she don't have human rights now. You know what I mean? That's why it's very, very important. And that's what the things I'm going to be doing in Washington, D.C., than with the people that are conservative from the right and have human rights. They have to recognize we are human, we're not aliens, and we need an institution, a big institution, to protect our human rights too.
So who are you going to be meeting with there?
I'm going to be over there with some parliamentarians that are coming from Bolivia, from 2 or 3 different parties, but from opposition. I can say one is opposition. I don't know the other ones, but doesn't matter. They're coming and I have to meet them. Then I'm going to have a private meeting with Mr. Luis Almagro, the Dr. Luis Almagro. He's the General Secretary for the Organization of American States. As a personal with the foundation that we are doing to talk about what's happening, and then we're gonna have another meeting with the parliamentarians, with the commission that is coming, because I'm part of the commission and I want to be with them in order to put everything on the right place. Now we're trying to make some meetings too with, I understand that people is making an agenda over there with Ted Cruz, with Mario Diaz-Balart, and some other Congress. That's, I don't know if it's if I know they are doing that. Yesterday they asked me for my private email and my some kind of information, my ID, in order to me to go to the Congress and speak with them as well, to speak about the human rights, the violation of human rights in Bolivia. And there is nothing. Ted Cruz and Mario Diaz-Balart knows exactly what's going on in South America, but we need to speak. We need to keep knocking doors. Somebody has to.
What about Marco Rubio?
Marco Polo. I don't know. I don't hear about Marco. I don't hear about him, but I know that Mr. Trump endorsed him. So that's what I heard presently, and I'm happy for that. I have the opportunity to meet him before, and when he was running as a senator, or I don't know, a long time ago, 10 years ago. And then I see his attitude against Mr. Trump, and I was like, what the hell is going on with here? But in the third time that I can meet him, I hear him speaking about that people have to support Mr. Trump because because that was the right things to do. And I get
Yeah.
close to him and I say, thank you very much, because I believe you're doing the right thing.
Marco's a political animal. He's the kind of guy that is what he needs to be whenever he needs to be that.
You have to understand, he began with the Tea Party, and when Tea Party helped him to be there, then he kicked them, and then he get like a godmother to Mrs. Ileana Ross.
Yeah.
And he was, oh my God, Ileana Ross. What's like the three? I don't know how to say it. What's like a team was Rose Liderman, Ileana,
right?
The three Cuban, Marco and Mario Diaz-Balart.
Yeah, right.
They was very, very close. And Mrs. Ileana, after she left anyway, the Congress, she get apart because she hate Mr. Trump. She was a Bush person, and she's the never Trump. And the result is that nobody likes her now, because you pay what you do.
That's true. And she's gone now. So
she's gone.
Yeah.
Actually, that somebody remember her, just for maybe nobody remember her no more, because she don't let no legacy after what she did. It's like whatever good things that she tried to do, her legacy is done. It's nothing. Nobody remember her actually.
Yeah. So we've got some big events. I'm not going to drop you off because I just like to look at you because you're beautiful and I don't get to see you very much. So, but we're going to go into our last segment here, ladies and gentlemen, that we have got Ignite the Right Rally. The information, April 23rd, 2020 at 6 p.m. Go to the New Patriot Pack, newpatriotpack.com. In fact, let me put this banner up here. Actually, I don't actually have it. So I'm going to type this in here. The New Patriotpack.com. So, all right, the newpatriotpack.com. Go there to the newpatriotpack.com. All the information. We've got all the speakers, Dakota Poorman, national recording artist. He's going to be there performing his new album. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be awesome. Man, that guy has been great. He has performed at some of our events in the past, and he's always just put on just one heck of a show. You guys are going to love this. We're going to be out at the Clover Island Inn down there in Kennewick, down there in the Tri-Cities area. We want all of you to come out. We had to postpone because of scheduling difficulties. We had to postpone the Saturday and Sunday show, but we are going to make those shows up later in the summer. But we do need to get this Tri-City show done because we promised it. And the suggestion was made that we just cancel it. And I said, no, we've made a promise to the folks that we've got to do a rally. And so we're going to do it. It's going to be great. So April 23rd, 2021, down there in Kennewick, Washington. It's going to be a great time. And if you've never been to a Culp rally, then you are in for a treat. Sweetie, you remember the rallies. You were at some of the biggest rallies we had.
I love it. I love it. I'm so jealous I will not be there, but I'm going to be watching. Just to let you know, they just banned my Facebook, my two Facebook page, personal accounts. So I'm gonna have some limit, but I will fix.
You got banned, huh?
They are, behind us. They want to take everything and make us quiet, but there's always another ways to express ourselves.
Yeah. All right. Well, sweetheart, thank you very much for joining me on my show tonight. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody, and God bless America, guys. Fight for this land of freedom and brave.
All right, sweetie. All right, I love you. I will talk to you in just a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us on the show. Human rights is a big thing. If you don't think that they're not going to come for or if you think that they're not going to come for your human rights, you're wrong. You're wrong. They're going to violate your human rights. It's just the way that it is. And regardless, you can live in denial land, but at the end of the day, you can look away all you want, but one day they're going to come knock on your door. And I mean, if that's your thing, if you want to live as a slave, that's fine. I mean, that's your gig. That's not my gig. That's not my family's thing. And we're going to live free, period. Or we're going to die fighting for freedom, one of the two. But we love you. We've got Lauren Culp coming up here just shortly. He's got an awesome show for you tonight. and he's got some really great things to talk to you about. Go over to thenewpatriotpack.com. Jump on there, check out what's going on with that. And if you are of a mind, we need your financial support to be able to put these shows on. Any amount will be great. I mean, if you have a lot to give us, we love you. If you have a little bit to give us, we love you. But either way, if you could help and support us, what we're doing, we would appreciate it. We love you guys. I will see you guys next week, and I will be having an awesome guest on the show next week. So with that, we will see you guys next week, and always continue to push back.